You guys remember the 2019 F150 that 2.7 liter Ecoboost? This white one over here, the company truck back there, STX. EGR tube blew off. Well, I put the EGR tube and everything on. Note to self: the EGR tube. When you do the EGR tube on that, it comes with a gasket on the head side. I ordered one anyway, so maybe you want to order one, but then you'll have to end up returning it because it already has one on it. But also, where it blew out right here, it melted the turbo tube, so you're going to want to be careful of that as well. I have to put a new tube and stuff on it, and it comes with a whole entire assembly, not just the tube part. And that's where it melted it. And somebody else told me the same thing. I said I'd never seen it before, and he said I've already done a couple of them, so you're going to probably end up having to replace that tube as well, because it blows all that hot EGR right onto that tube and melts it. And sure enough, he was right. There's the new tube. The shiny new tube installed right there. It goes up there. It blew apart at the weld, and now I got to put a new turbo tube in there. You can see the empty, nothing there. If it'll focus. All right, it's in. You gotta switch over your air filter box. Make sure you tighten your clamp here, the clamp here. Check the factory clamp where they already have it tight, because sometimes that stuff doesn't work out in your favor. You see the turbo tube down in there? It's in now. It's all tight. Let's see if we can get a part number off that. FL3Z9 Charlie. FL3Z9 Charlie 623 Edward. Anyway, let's get in it now and check it out. The new EGR tube, you see that shiny black sleeve going down? That was what blew out and melted that fresh air inlet to the turbo tube. And we're gonna have to clear codes. Lately I've been using this Phoenix Lite 2 from Topdon. Here's the case, wireless dongle. Nice tool. I've had it on now for about 2 weeks with no charge, and it's still at, like, I don't know, what is it, at 48%? And I've used it probably a dozen times. I absolutely love this thing.
Got the one with the tube?
It's really quick. Gains access very, very fast. I was able to pull door codes with it. I'm able to do all kinds of stuff with this thing. It says, I haven't tried it yet. I haven't had the opportunity to, but it says this Phoenix Lite 2 Pro, it has the option to do some minor key programming and things of this nature as well. It has one code stored in the computer for P0299 turbocharger, supercharger, A underboost state, and that would either be because of two reasons. The tube is blown off, there's a leak somewhere in the intake tubing, or there is, it's not getting any airflow to the turbo to create this pressure that it needs. Or there's something wrong with one of the vacuum control valves, and there's a little vacuum line that goes right in the top of that. It goes to a solenoid over on the middle of the intake manifold, and it's kind of spiders off. You follow your little vacuum lines, you can follow it to your TCB control for your turbocharger. And normally it's that little vacuum solenoid itself, but then you got to start looking at tubes, cracks, leaks, things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear DTCs now, and then we're going to go test drive it. vehicle is actually currently running. You want to end your diagnostic session? Yes. And then it'll give you a warning message and tell you don't forget your dongle down there. Super quiet now, so let's go drive it, make sure everything's good. Well, the test drive went absolutely phenomenal. A P0299 code was set in the computer with that EGR tube being blown off, and that EGR tube melted part of that intake tubing, which set the P0299 code. Just wasn't able to take in air in order to create boost, and that was the problem. So if you have a 2.7 liter Ecoboost and you hear an exhaust manifold leak like that, like we heard in the original video, which I'll link in the comment section, look to that EGR tube and feel down there with a cool engine, not a warm engine, a cool engine, and see if that tube is melted through. 9 times out of 10 it is, and you're going to need a new tube as well. Everything went great, no check engine light, no nothing. The green auto start stop turned on, which is a direct indication that there's no codes set in the computer, and everything was fine. Get it back to the customer, get him back on his way, because he's from out of state. Even though he's working in state right now, I'm sure he wants his truck back with all his tools. So I'm excited to get him his vehicle back, because he needs to be back on the road working, because this is his personal work truck. So y'all be blessed, take care. This was a 2019 STX 2.7 liter Ecoboost F150. Y'all be blessed.